screen suddenly showed a nuclear warhead coming at the US at Mach 10. What stunned the military experts was they couldn't backtrace where it was launched from. North Korea and a major Eastern power and even Russia were all quiet. If they struck back rashly, it could turn into a global nuclear war. There were only 19 minutes left before impact. The country jumped to DEFCON 2. Top priority now was to intercept it midair. As the silo doors opened, 2 cutting-edge land-based interceptors launched, expected to meet the warhead in 3 minutes. The White House Strategic Office was already in chaos. To keep the government from shutting down after a nuclear hit, the Office of Continuity of Government called General Miller and several senior officials would head to the president's bunker. For the moment, top command authority at the White House Strategic Unit was handed to Olivia. Meanwhile, one interceptor reached its planned track. Its blast would produce 1 billion joules of heat, enough to turn any missile within 10 kilometers to ash, but the blip was still on radar. Clearly, the first interceptor failed. Luckily, there was a backup. Everyone pinned their hopes on the second one.
3, 2, 1. Oh, shit.
People traded looks. There were fewer than 50 land-based interceptors nationwide, and they were scattered around the world, which meant they couldn't kill the warhead outside U.S. airspace. The next second, the U.S. went to DEFCON 1. Soon, the warhead hit apogee. Next would be a straight dive, then leveling the target. By the trajectory, it would hit Chicago, a metro of 10 million, with a conservative estimate of 5 million casualties. Watching the countdown, many soldiers were already calling family to say goodbye. They knew World War III was now unavoidable. Meanwhile, the White House Strategic Office finally reached Russia and North Korea, but both flatly denied involvement. China still wasn't reachable. They had just held a parade showing weapons that really could be impossible to intercept. Next, the president issued a final order. Once the warhead hits, they must retaliate against other nuclear-armed states. Better to be wrong than let anyone off the hook. Olivia knew what that meant. Desperate, she called her husband, told him to drive out of the city fast and take their son somewhere as remote as possible. The countdown hit the last minute.
Delta, Oscar, 1117. National Command Authority confirmed. Your orders, Mr. President.
Jump back 19 minutes. As the 2 interceptors went up, the president finally exhaled, but he still asked his Pentagon staffer Jack what the real-world intercept rate was for those brand-new missiles. Jack hemmed and hawed.
When we test, we can't control...
Cut the bullshit, damn it!
Once the kill vehicle separates, our mid-course intercept system has a success rate of 61%.
Turns out, intercepting a hypersonic like this in combat is basically trying to stop a bullet with another bullet. Jack and the other officials reached the bunker and stood up a temporary continuity office. Soon after, the 2 interceptors failed as expected. Chicago's destruction was now all but certain. The Strategic Command General argued this warhead might be a probe. If the enemy learned the U.S. couldn't intercept a nuclear missile, the next wave could be hundreds or thousands of warheads. Best move now was to act fast and strike first. But the president still hesitated. If all this was like that balloon from the Eastern power, just a simple test, and he started a war rashly, he'd be branded in disgrace. Meanwhile, Jack got Russia on the line. They opened by grilling him. Why had U.S. fighters scrambled